God is dying, so he sends 13 angels to Japan to select their god candidate for the new god because the country's suicide rates is #1. According to God, this somehow would make the best candidates. So the angels, in various ranks, carry out the mission. Here is how each one of them plays their role in Platinum End.
Nasse, the Angel of Purity.
Nasse is a special ranking angel assigned to Mirai Kakahashi, the main protagonist of Platinum End. Nasse has a bright, innocent appearance with glowing white wings, a golden headband, and a childlike smile. Nasse first appears when Mirai attempts suicide by jumping off a building because of his depression and abusive situation. She catches him mid-air and grants him the ability to fly, saving his life. Immediately after, she introduces the rules of the god candidate selection. Mirai is now one of 13 god candidates for the role of the next god. Each candidate must survive while others may try to manipulate, outwit, or even kill them. The selection will continue in 999 days until only one remains or a suitable successor is chosen. It's basically a battle royale game. Based on the angel's rank, the special abilities bestowed to the candidate may vary from wings, the red arrow, and the white arrow. The red arrow allows the user to manipulate a target's emotions. When struck by it, a person will fall deeply in love with the user for 33 days. During this period, they will do anything the user says. The white arrow is a lethal weapon. When it hits a person, they die instantly. It travels faster than the red arrow and is extremely difficult to block or dodge. The wings grant the user flight at supersonic speed, allowing rapid transportation and instant evasion during battle. Based on the angel's rank, the candidate can get access to only one or all 3 tools. With Nasse being a special rank, Mirai is fully equipped from the beginning. About personality, Nasse is cheerful, supportive, and consistently optimistic. However, she shows an unusual detachment from human morality, expressing indifference toward killing as a valid means to achieve goals. She had suggested numerous times throughout the story that Mirai use his powers to steal and even kill those he disliked. This contrast between her innocent demeanor and morally neutral attitude highlights the alien nature of angels. She states that she's been keeping watch on Mirai, so she knows everything about him. She is determined to go to any length to help him attain true happiness. She then revealed, to Mirai's shock, that his aunt and uncle were the ones responsible for his family's death. She suggested he use his arrow to force them to confess, since Mirai doesn't believe her. Arriving at their home, Nasse witnesses Mirai's aunt's confession and then her suicide. Nasse explained to a horrified Mirai that he was responsible for her death because he had told her to go die while she was under the influence of his arrow. When Mirai decided to live on to achieve happiness for his family, Nasse excitedly confirmed that he would be happy. Throughout the story, Nasse plays a subtle but consistent role in Mirai's development, reinforcing his resolve to find a peaceful path through the competition. Later on, in the final battle, Nasse even swoops in and saves Mirai and his rivals from dying, even when that act would demote her, all because of her belief that doing so would help Mirai find happiness. This is also a moment that shows how different Nasse is from the other angels. She is the only angel can touch humans and does what she deems is good for her master. Over time, her guidance helps Mirai mature from a passive, depressed teen into someone who actively chooses his values, even when it puts his life at risk. Throughout the story, he would team up with other candidates not only to try to survive, but also to build good bonds with others. Luta. Luta is a second-rank angel who appears on TV when Mirai is watching, next to a scandalous celeb. Luta is a male angel with long white wings. He is very tall, with a muscular body that is partially covered in markings that help distinguish him from other angels. Although little has been revealed about Luta's personality, he was shown to be somewhat easygoing. When he was chosen as one of the 13 angels, he didn't seem to mind much. He just decided to choose an average human to complete his duty faster and relax. After arriving on Earth, Luta managed to find a candidate who is Tonma Rodriguez and granted him the red arrow to use as he pleased. After Tonma was murdered by another god candidate who was later revealed as Metropolis Man, Luta doesn't react much. He just returns to heaven with Tonma's body.
Meyza, the Angel of Lust.
Meyza is a special rank angel partnered with Metropoliman, who was later revealed as Kanade Uryu. Meyza had short hair with a small section in the middle of her head completely shaved. She was once an unranked angel who was promoted directly to special rank through unknown means. Like all the other angels, she had long white wings and a large glowing halo above her head. As a special rank angel, she provides Kanade with all 3 divine tools. Just like Mirai, this instantly gives Kanade a major advantage over most other candidates. Meyza has also been shown to be ruthless towards the other candidates like Nasse. She encouraged Kanade to kill them as it was the fastest way to become a god, and he delivered. Kanade is the grandson of the principal of the prestigious Joso Academy. Born with a golden spoon, he has a superior complex. Meyza first meets Kanade while he is grieving his sister's death and considering suicide. She offers him a chance to revive his sister if he becomes god. Kanade accepts, but then later on he proclaims that he will eliminate poverty and inequality when he becomes the successor, though this means that the poor and ugly will be killed. He uses every means to try to achieve his goal, including manipulation, sacrificing his subordinates, kidnapping. He even spares no mercy to children. Later on, when he tried to pull his underhanded tactics on Mirai and his company at the museum park, he was shot dead. After Kanade is defeated, Meyza disappears. Like all angels, her existence ends with the death of her god candidate.
Revel, the angel of emotion.
Revel at first is a second-rank angel assigned to Saki, Mirai's childhood friend and classmate. Revel had an androgynous appearance. He grew bangs with his chunky ear-length hair and had upside-down wings that came from his hips. After having witnessed Mirai's suicide attempt at the beginning of the series, Saki guiltily tried to drown herself at sea because she did nothing to stop Mirai's bullying out of peer pressure. This led her to meet Revel and become a god candidate. Revel is rather calculating and manipulative, a trait that is considered by Nasse to be the reason why he was relegated to be a second-rank angel known as the Angel of Trickery. Because of this, he is only capable of bestowing Saki with a red arrow. Thus, at first, Saki rarely participates in any fight. By teaming up with Mirai Kakehashi and Nasse, Revel later showed a more lively, emotive, and somehow kinder personality. Later on, Revel wants to become more useful to Saki. He decides to study the knowledge of the celestial realm, but fails to be promoted. However, he sheds tears for the first time after reflecting on his powerlessness upon witnessing Saki's determination to help Mirai despite her inability. This is an unprecedented act by an angel, since no angel had shed tears for a human before. God promotes him to the first rank and gives him the title of Angel of Emotion. This allows him to bestow wings onto Saki. With her newfound ability, Saki rushes to help Mirai and their companion, which leads to Metropolimon's demise. Emaka and Egura. Emaka and Egura are Shogo and Suburo's angels, respectively, both of the first rank. Egura has short white hair with golden circular patterns at the ends. Her bangs intertwine with her hair, which causes her left eye to be covered. Emaka has short white hair and a front bang that has a golden band wrapped around it. In the past, Shogo Hatakama and Suburo Tabuchi failed their college entrance exam and attempted to commit suicide via drug overdose. After being saved by first-rank angels Emaka and Egura, Shogo and Suburo assumed the identities of Metro Blue and Metro Yellow. Around day 40th of the Battle Royal, with the advice of Meyza, Kanade realizes that other candidate is scared of him. So under Metropoliman identity, he publicly announces that he wants to establish a peaceful alliance by inviting the other god candidates to a ballpark called the Jinbo Stadium. Metro Blue and Metro Yellow show up at the stadium and challenge Metropoliman to a duel. This is their first and also their last appearance. With Metropoliman's ruthlessness, both of them meet their end. Emaka and Egura consequently return to the god realm. Mirai and Saki also came to the stadium, but they were just watching and unable to do anything. Jami. Jami was a second-ranked angel and selected Chiyo Nakayama, a young girl being bullied at school, as her god candidate. Jami had a small body frame with short white hair and a golden band around her forehead. We don't know much about her personality, but she seems quite fearful and easily panics. Jami accompanies Chiyo when she decides to attend Metropoliman's meeting and ask him for help. Kanade first strikes her with a red arrow. However, he then uses Chiyo as a hostage, saying he will kill her if no other candidates reveal themselves. As none do, Jami also meets the same fate as Emaka and Egura when Kanade shot his white arrow at Chiyo. Baret, the angel of knowledge. Baret is a first rank, portrayed as a white-haired angel with short bangs, green eyes, and a monocle on her left eye. Her wings are located on her waist, flowing down her bottom section like a long skirt. Baret has a kind, soft-spoken, know-it-all attitude. She is known as the Angel of Knowledge. According to Revel, she knows all kinds of heavenly knowledge gleaned from history. She is very learned, but not without flaws. Her candidate is Nanato Mukaido, who suffers from terminal cancer. Using the red arrows which Baret gives him, Nanato secures enough money from the rich for his pregnant wife Aya and his daughter Nanaka after he dies. He also tries to find more god candidates by hiring private detectives. These detectives found out about Mirai and Saki at the Jinbo Stadium. He deems that Mirai and Saki are good people. That night, Nanato shows up at their door and suggests they team up to prevent Kanade from becoming god.
Besides the wing and red arrows, Baret is also willing to share her wisdom and information regarding celestial beings and rules with others, if that is her own candidate's wish. She informs Saki about the 4 methods on how to acquire wings involving a previously eliminated candidate, though a safer option is if Revel could be promoted to first rank by studying celestial knowledge. After teaming up with Mirai and Saki, Baret continues to provide her wisdom and strategic look to help the team fight against Kanade. In his last fight, leaving Saki behind at the base, Nanato and Mirai try to rescue his family at the abandoned Minonemo amusement park. They are captured by another candidate who is Kanade's underling. After a long, hard fight against Kanade and his underlings, Nanato suffers great injuries, but with Saki's on-time help, he still manages to pull the trigger and finish Kanade. After that, Mirai and Saki take Nanato to the hospital, where he eventually succumbs to his terminal cancer. Before carrying Nanato to the celestial realm, Baret gives Nanato's red arrow and wings to Saki.
Balta, the angel of intuition. Balta was a first-rank angel capable of granting wings and red arrows. He has messy, neck-length white hair, a large pair of wings sprouting from his shoulders, and a glowing blue halo above his head. Balta selected Hajime Sokotani as his god candidate. Throughout his childhood, Hajime was poor and ugly and being bullied a lot by it. One day when he came home, he found his mother had committed suicide by hanging, and he tried to follow suit. This is when Balta first appeared. He offered to help Hajime attain the things he always wanted to have, starting with the young man's desire to speak with women, to which he gave him the red arrow to do so. However, Hajime felt a big disgust at the image of looking at himself kissing a girl, which Balta correctly deduced caused Hajime hopelessness.
After 2 weeks, Balta watched with Hajime how Metropolis Man declared himself a hero, which caused great excitement to Hajime, who marveled at how different the hero was from him. Balta once again correctly deduced that Hajime wanted to be a popular and attractive man. Sometime after Hajime's face surgery, Metropolitan fights with the other god candidates on the top of a tower. Balta and Hajime only observe the events that happen on the TV. Just like his name suggests, Balta seems to possess a great sense of intuition, being capable of figuring out what type of person Metropolitan is with a single glance at him. After witnessing Metropolitan fight at the tower and almost dying, Hajime expressed his desire to protect Metropolitan, with Balta stating that Metropolitan most likely won't be a good god, but Hajime still didn't care and continued to express his desire, to which Balta suggested looking for things that would make Hajime look more like a hero. After contact and becoming Kanade's underling, Hajime captured Nanato's family and kept them hostage at the abandoned amusement park. After trapping Mirai and Nanato in the mirror's house, Hajime gets shot at by Saki's red arrow after she gets her wings with Revel's promotion. Hajime experiences love for the first time as he struggles with his loyalty towards Kanade. Under the arrow's influence, Hajime helps Mirai's team fight against Kanade. When Mirai is under attack from 2 sides, Hajime protects him and gets injected with a syringe containing a deadly airborne virus. Before melting to death, he still manages to kill the attacker with his sword. Balta also leaves the earth as a result. Throughout Hajime's time, Balta was always very supportive and helpful towards his master, always advising him on unknown occasions and never speaking ill of him. Even after Hajime's death, Balta remained respectful toward him and spoke fondly of him.
Penema, the angel of game.
Penema is a first-rank angel who selected Susumu Yuito as his god candidate. He has a devious expression, a sleek appearance, and a shonen-like design. As his title suggests, he's a mischievous angel who likes to play games. His candidate, Susumu, is a grade school student who is very depressed because his parents are rarely home. He's also being bullied by his classmates because he doesn't have a cell phone. Once, when he felt too lonely, he tried to end his life with his mother's sleeping pill. This is also when Penema shows up. By giving Susumu the red arrow, Penema helps him get a ton of friends and a lot of fun. But then, watching the broadcast of Metropolitan announcing his plan to eliminate every candidate to become god, Susumu decides to find and get rid of Metropolitan to protect his life and his fun time. Because of Penema being a good friend to Balta, Susumu quickly finds out who Metropolitan is and sneaks a red arrow on him. Then he demands that Kanade fight Mirai and Nanato to the death. This is why Kanade didn't try to flee when he got into a bad situation like he used to do on the tower, and agreed to fight on the ground with Mirai. After Kanade's defeat, the 6 remaining angels meet up and try to come up with a plan to speed up the god selection process. Penema is the one who shoulders this mission. He advises Susumu to broadcast everything about the god battle royal and encourages the public to track down the remaining god candidates and vote vote for whoever should become the successor. In this broadcast, Susumu publicly nominates Mirai to become the successor. After that, the remaining candidates eventually show up one by one. Mirai and Saki, in the meantime, also get in contact with two detectives who try to cover for them from the government. In the last broadcast to meet with the last candidate, Susumu was sniped down by the Japanese government, causing the others to flee from the scene. In that moment, the last candidate shoots his white arrow at Susumu to give him a painless death, then takes Susumu's arrows and wings. Penema ceases to exist as a result.
Yazeli, the angel of truth. Yazeli was a second-rank angel who selected Yuri Tamari as his god candidate. With a well-built male frame, he is an angel who can be described as earnest and calm. His speech is always concise and to the point. He always tries to advise his candidate to do the right thing. How he met Yuri is unknown, but before they met, Yuri had already tried to commit suicide twice, so we can speculate that he intervened for her third time. After getting the wings and the red arrow from Yazeli, all Yuri does is abuse the red arrow to live a lavish life on a tropical island. When the news about the god candidates gets out because of Susumu's broadcast, Yazeli suggests that Yuri submit herself to the government so they can ensure her safety. Later, with some discreet help from two detectives, Masaya and Minami, Yuri manages to escape from being held in protective custody. At the end, Yazeli returns to heaven with the new god after the successor is decided.
Ogaro, the angel of darkness.
Ogaro is a first-rank angel who selected Shuji Nakayumi as her god candidate. She is a tall, well-proportioned female figure with an aura of supernatural grace. There are 6 large wings layered around her body, resembling the seraphim angels from mythology. She always has a calm, cold expression with her eyes nearly closed. She barely speaks. According to Baret, she is the only angel who doesn't want to be promoted to a special rank and knows the whole truth of heaven. Her candidate, Shuji, is a gloomy kid with a sad outlook on life. His family background is a mess. His grandfather is bedbound in the hospital due to old age and sickness. His mother cheated on his father and left him for someone else, making his father fall into a depressed state.
After being granted the angel's tools, Shuji compelled his hospitalized grandfather, divorced father, and cheating mother to die peacefully after shooting his red arrow at each of them. For him, the world has too much suffering, and euthanasia via these arrows is the answer. Even when Mirai finds him out, Shuji is also trying to shoot his brother with the red arrow to end his life. Shuji says that people are the result of worldly passions fueled by desire, even the will to live. Like every other angel, Ogaro agrees with Shuji on his doomer view. Later, when Shuji heard the last candidate state his disbelief in God and the whole succession process, he sided with the last candidate. He held the rest of the squad captivated with the white arrow, while Mirai joined the last candidate in the last showdown. But when he saw how Mirai and Saki were willing to die for each other, his doomer hue changed, and he agreed to become God so everyone else could live on, especially the last candidate, Gaku. Ogaro also returned to God's realm with every other remaining angel and became Shuji's personal guard.
Muni, the angel of destruction.
Muni is the last angel to officially show up in the anime. She is a special rank angel and selects Gaku Yoneda as her god candidate. Muni's appearance was fairly unique despite retaining an overall humanoid form. She had at least 6 wings on her head, including ones covering her eyes, and 2 to 4 on her upper body and waist. In comparison to other angels, her body appeared to be decayed and deteriorated, symbolizing ruination and damage. Her god candidate, Gaku, is a professor emeritus at Tokyo University. He is one of the youngest people to win Nobel Prizes in physics and in literature after choosing to become a high school dropout in order to study on his own and avoid interpersonal relationships. Though his achievement is high, this self-isolation also leads to his warped view of the world. He first met Muni after he attempted to commit suicide via drug overdose due to the overwhelming publicity of his scientific research. Gaku agreed to become a god candidate so that he would possibly experience the afterlife. But throughout the elimination process, Muni keeps on reinforcing Gaku's despair for humanity through manipulation and misinformation. Her goal is to destroy God, thus destroy everything else. After every candidate had appeared, Gaku demanded them through Muni that they state their intention of why they would become God first. This includes euthanasia for Shuji, hedonism for Yuri, leisure for Susumu, happiness for Saki, and Nixon for Mirai. After hearing Mirai's reason, Gaku reveals himself and states his own theory about God and the succession game. But Susumu's assassination had put the meeting on abrupted. While in hiding, with the help of Shuji, Gaku has found a way to kill every candidate to put a stop to God's revival, even when it costs many lives as test subjects. After that, Gaku publicly announces that the new national stadium will be a secure venue for the God candidates to hold a meeting. On the day of the meeting, Mirai, Saki, Yuri, Masai, and Minami arrive at the new national stadium where
where Gaku and Shuji are waiting. Messiah tries to reason with Gaku, who reveals that he overcame his anthropophobia despite his arrogance. Leaving that humans should decide how humanity ends, Gaku explains that all of humanity would lose the will to live due to the concept of time. With Messiah acting as a witness, Mirai and Gaku have a private conversation, while the rest have to leave. Mirai firmly desires to preserve happiness by saving human lives, and gains the resolve to aim his white arrow at Gaku, while Saki, Yuri, and Manami find themselves held captive by Shuji, who aims his white arrow at Saki. As Mirai realizes that humanity would face extinction due to scientific progress, Gaku explains that the future is already predetermined in the past, though Mirai believes that the future is the product of the present. After 28 seconds have passed, Mirai decides that he will not become the successor. Gaku calls out Mirai for being willing to forsake millions of lives in order to save Saki, though Mirai notes that Saki is the most important person to him. After another 28 seconds have passed, Mirai chooses to sacrifice himself for Saki as Gaku shoots a white arrow at Mirai. Nasse suddenly swoops in and saves Mirai from dying, though she is consequently demoted as a second-ranked angel, while Messiah catches Mirai from plummeting to the ground. When Messiah finally puts down Mirai on the ground, Gaku shoots his white arrow at Mirai, who is then saved by the timely arrival of Saki. Manami returns with Shuji at the new national stadium, but Yuri fails to initiate a sneak attack when Nasse swoops in to save Gaku. Nasse is surprisingly promoted as a special-ranked angel. It is revealed that Shuji previously released Saki, Yuri, and Manami before lending his white arrow to Yuri. Although Gaku realized how detached he was from the norm as he witnessed everything happening and thinks that he is not a genius, the public says otherwise. As it is concluded that happiness can only be achieved through others, Gaku prepares to commit suicide. However, Shuji steps up and tries to become the successor in an effort to try to sway Gaku from dying. Upon this, Muni hints that Shuji will finalize her and Gaku's objective. Gaku agrees and stops trying to die. The selection process ends. With everyone's consent, the memories of Messiah, Manami, and Yuri are erased, while the memories of Mirai, Saki, and Gaku are retained. Shuji and the angels return to the God realm. Ascending into the celestial realm where time moves slower than on Earth, Shuji realizes that God is beginning to fuse with him. 6 years have passed on Earth, and the handful of people that Shuji knew are living happy lives. However, Shuji has an epiphany after seeing so many people greatly divided in socio-economic status. So many people are suffering. Upon this realization, he shoots himself with a white arrow, kills the old god, which causes the celestial realm and everything in it, including the angel, to gradually vanish, never to return. All living beings on Earth also gradually vanish, leaving behind a barren wasteland. Personally, I think this ending shows how dangerous depression is. There are people who recover fully, like Mirai and Saki, but destruction is always there, waiting for its time to come. Even when you become a god but have nothing that you want, you can still spiral into darkness again.